Let's talk now, though, to David Davis, because the piece in the papers this morning about Lucy Letby. Lucy Letby's lawyer says he's got new evidence that could clear her name. 26 experts, 1,000 pages of new evidence. She is a broken woman, says the barrister, who is, of course, a man we've had on this show, Mark McDonald. David Davis, who's been fighting the fight for Lucy Letby as well, is here. David, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Thanks very much for joining us. What is this new evidence? I don't know whether you've seen it, and who are the new experts?
Well, I haven't seen the new evidence you're talking about, but there is just so much evidence. I mean, the reason I took up the Letby case in the first place was that after I just mentioned it in Parliament, no more than that, I had 16 world-class experts, one Nobel Prize winner amongst them, get in touch and say, well, I don't know whether she's innocent or guilty, but I do know that the bit of evidence here that I know about is rubbish.
Yeah.
16 different times. And we keep seeing this every time we take a piece of supposedly critical evidence in the case to a world-class expert, whether it's Xu Li or whether it's the past president of the Royal Statistical Society or any of them. They say, oh no, this is wrong. They've misinterpreted, they've misunderstood it, they've presented, and that's what we're seeing over and over again. So I am optimistic that the CCRC, the Criminal Case Review Commission, will pass this back to the Court of Appeal. That's what it ought to do. And I think there's the burden of so much evidence now that it will be peculiar if they didn't pass it back.
No, indeed. I mean, so far, though, they've sort of hidden behind this, well, there isn't really anything new, so we're quite happy with the first trial and we don't really feel like there's any need to have another trial, never mind an actual appeal. I mean, so how can you convince them otherwise?
Well, I think two things are happening. I mean, firstly, the sheer burden of evidence, which Mark McDonald's obviously been talking about. But the other thing is this, that in the last year, what's become apparent is our method of handling miscarriages of justice is a disaster. I mean, you've had Andrew Malkinson, who was convicted of rape 17 years or so ago. 3 or 4 years after he was convicted, they found DNA evidence actually proving that he was innocent. You don't often find it as clear as that. It still took another 13 years to get him out. We've had Peter Sutherland, who was in for 38 years before he was exonerated, time and time again. And the CCRC has been falling down the job, which is why it's got a new chairman in Vera Baird, it's got new people, and it realises it's got to prove that it knows what it's doing. It proves that it's up to the job. And I think Lucy Letby is going to be one of the first cases where that happens.
Yeah. And I mean, are you one of those who thinks it should be a retrial or it should be an appeal? Is there a preference for that? I
think it probably has to be a retrial. I mean, you've got so many, and look, you've got other interests here which are incredibly important. The interests of the parents who will want to know the answer properly, not just well, we got it wrong last time. They'll want to know the answer properly, and I have some sympathy with that. So it needs to be a retrial, I think, but a retrial with proper experts. I mean, the truth of the matter is that the supposedly expert witnesses who gave evidence in the original trial really weren't as expert as perhaps the jury thought, and we have to have proper, literally world-class experts in front of a jury. Yeah, and also, funnily enough, since this particular trial took place, there's been a whole slew of information that's come out about different maternity units around Britain, which have sadly seemingly got an awful lot in common in that they're very much underperforming and in some cases deadly. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, there are three big policy things that will come out of this if we succeed. One of them is, can the health service heal itself? When it makes terrible errors, does it actually look at the cause of the error and put it right? And look, is this happening elsewhere? Or does it scapegoat somebody? And I'm afraid the truth of the matter, it's not just in Britain, by the way, but the truth of the matter is that typically big organizations like the health service tend to scapegoat people and sort of defend defend themselves, not defend the interests. Now, that means that there are literally hundreds of children who have died, probably unnecessarily over the years, because we haven't fixed the system before. And this is, in many ways, is not a new thing. I think even Jeremy Hunt recognized it when he was health secretary. So, in the interests of all the as yet unborn children who go through neonatal units, we need to fix this.
Yes, and I think many people now who previously might have not agreed with that point of view, I think have sort of now come around to it. And I think I'm one of them, actually. I think, why not?
Yeah. Every day, literally walking down the street, whether it's in my constituency or over the weekend in Hereford or whatever, people come up to me and say, you've changed my mind, Mr. Davis, or thank you for what you've done, because the world has gone from thinking Lucy Letby is a monster. And I think, a year or so ago, a bit more than a year ago, I was in that category. I thought, well, she's in the right place. And it's now flipped around and thought, actually, no, this is wrong. Something terrible's happened here. And I think that's a very, very common view. Probably 3/4 of the population now think that.
Yeah, I think so. Well, David, good luck with it. Thank you very much indeed. David Davis there, fighting for Lucy Letby to get a new trial. And just to have a proper series of experts look at exactly what happened and what she's accused of doing. And who knows where that could lead.